So let's try this. Okay, then we will start our material. Okay. Yesterday, we discussed inner class, you remember. We discussed inner class. Okay, and we also discussed the static nested class, okay. So that's a starting point. So today, what we will learn, it's another new concept, it's called anonymous inner class. It will make the code more cleaner, okay? So let's take a look at this example, okay? This example is, we call it a hello world anonymous class. That's the class name, okay? And within it, over here, you can see, this over here define an interface called a hello world. And this interface just listed two method signature, that basic two method header is listed. That's what interface did. Is that okay? So anyway, you can also define an interface inside a class. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so then next, let's see. The next part is a method. If let me minimize, okay. So if I minimize, so this is a complete class. Maybe let me try this. So this is our class. Is it a hello world anonymous class? Is it within it we define an interface called hello world? Is it? And for this class we have a method. Is it? Called see hello, okay, and this is instance method, is it? And we also have our main, okay, main is class method, is it? Okay, we already know hello world interface, we already see it. And next, let's see this see hello method. So this is an instance method, is it? Okay, for this instance method, if you take a look, this part, it seems quite interesting, is it? So this method, it doesn't have parameter, is it? So this method, no parameter. And it has, so this is a starting curly brackets, is it? And there's an ending curly brackets. And within it, if you take a look at this part, this define another class within a method. Okay, this is the first time we see it, is it? Yeah, this is also legal, okay? So in a method body, you can also define a class, okay? So definitely this English greeting class, this class is an inner class, is it? Because what? Because it's nested within the outer class. That's called our hello world anonymous class, is it? So we have that hello world anonymous class, is it? We have it, and this is nested within it. So definitely this is an inner class, okay? And for this inner class, did you see it also implements that hello world interface? Is it? So that interface, so let's also get back to that interface. Okay, so this is the interface, hello world interface. And so for this inner class, we call it English greeting, is it? It implements this interface. So that means you need to implement these two abstract methods, is it? These two are abstract methods. And this is a concrete class, so you need to implement them. Is it okay? We did implement. For grade, what we do is we call the grade sum1. For grade sum1, what you do is you output a hello sum1. That's pretty simple for this two method. Okay, and this name is instance variable of this class, English grading. Okay, so this part is easy to understand, is it? Any question about this hello or this English grading class? Any question? No question, is it? Okay, then let's move on. So then over here, we have this English grading. This is what? This is a variable, is it? A variable type is what? Is that hello word. So let's take a look what the hello word is. Okay. The hello word is what? Is the interface, is it? So this variable, the type is that interface, is it? And it's associated with what? With the English grading instance, is it? So here you create an instance of English grading, is it? And do you still remember why this is okay? Why the variable type is interface? And so for this assignment operator, the right side type is English grading. But the left side is a hello word. So why this is okay? Why this is okay? This is fine, is it? We call it what? Previously called dynamic binding, is it? Yeah, so previously we learned polymorphism, is it dynamic binding, is it? So that's related, okay. So this is fine, is it? Okay, English grading. And then next, let's see. The next part, for this one, over here, then you have this variable called French grading. The type is still that hello world interface. But what does this mean? It's just say new hello world. This is new. We never learned this, is it? New can apply to what? Whenever we do new, it's supposed to follow a constructor, is it? So you need to have a class, is it? But here we don't have a class. This hello world is what? It's an interface. But you cannot create an instance with an interface, is it? Or abstract class, you cannot do that, is it? But why over here it's legal to do this? It's kind of, it's called some constructor, but the interface, the hello world, you cannot use it to create instance, is it? You cannot create instance, is it? With an interface or an abstract class, is it? Whenever you want to create instance, you got to use a concrete class. So what does this mean, is it? And if you take another close look, so let me use this. And you take, this is an assignment statement, is it? It's called new hello, what looks like call some constructor, is it? And following it has curly brackets, is it? And it has semicolon, is it? So this is a single statement, assignment statement. Assignment statement, try to do assignment, is it? Assign some object. Assign some object heap Is it created on heap? Is it to a variable? Is it to a variable? That's weird, is it? And within it, oh, it has some name, kind of like of English greeting, is it? And then it implement great and great someone, is it? And both of this from that hello world interface. Interface, is it? So what is this? Okay, so this is a new concept. We call it anonymous inner class. So basically, this is anonymous inner class definition. Okay, so basically, this equivalent to just like what we did with English greeting. You define a class called maybe French, but there is no such name, okay, French greeting. And it implements the hello word. And within it, this is the class body. Okay. Class body. Is it? You have this class. Then you remember if we don't do that, then you can call, oh, new French greeting. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, is it? Based on what we learned before, is it? But over here, we don't have this French greeting. Is it? We don't have this part. Is it? We don't have this part. We don't have this part. Is it? You just see the interface name. Is it? And the following by this this pair of parents supposed to be from what? From constructor. Is it? Yeah. So this is the concept of anonymous class, because you do create a class, but there is no name, is it? The class doesn't have name. That's why we call it anonymous class, is it? And you directly invoke constructor. Because there is no name, is it? So it depends on the interface name or abstract class name. Okay, so anonymous class, be careful, okay. You must, for the anonymous class, it must implement an interface or it extends from an abstract class. Okay, so that when you do the constructor, you just use that interface name or abstract name, and inside it, you need to implement the abstract method. Abstract methods. Okay, implement of the abstract. And this name is what? It's an instance variable. Okay, so this single statement, like I previously explained, is it? This statement, if you take a look, is it? Basically, it's then just something, is it? And semicolon, is it? So this is an assignment statement, is it? And what we do here is we expand the body part of this method, is it? Of this class. So this is the class body. Class body. So for anonymous class, you do have class body, is it? But there is no name. Why my pen not working? Okay, but there is no class name. Okay, no class. And generally speaking, it's always you do new something. This something is from an interface. Oh, interface or an abstract class. Okay, and generally speaking, the body part is implement of the abstract methods. Okay, that's called anonymous class. And over here, you basically, and it can only be used once because there is no name. And how you refer it later, there is no way. So it's just to use once. Use once, is it? And over here it's the class definition, is it? And implementation, is it? And the instance initialization, is it? Or in a single statement. Is it? Everything in that single statement. Is it? So this, we call it an anonymous class. Yeah, who has question?
I had a question. So
yeah, please.
Technically we can create only one object of anonymous class,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, very good observation. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so you just use it to create a single object because there is no way for you to refer it later. Okay, so that's the best. Okay, so let's make this as our first quiz question today. So, Alex, what is your question originally?
My question was, can we create another object of anonymous class, or can we create more than one object?
Yeah, so can we use anonymous class to create more than one object? Is it? No. So the answer is no. Okay, so can you send your answer to our chat? Okay, so this is regarding anonymous class. Is it kind of get the idea? Okay, then let's move on. Okay. So once we understand this is French greeting, then next one pretty similar. It's called Spanish greeting. Spanish? It's very much like our French greeting, is it? And then, did you see English greeting? You can call the greet method, is it? With the French greeting, did you see? You can still call all of its method, greet someone, is it? And Spanish greeting, you can also call its method, is it? So all of their method, you can still call them, is it? Because over here, you do have the object related with that anonymous class, okay? So this is a general idea. And then, so our main is also quite simple, is it? We just create an instance, is it? Our hello world anonymous class instance. Then over here, did you see, you call that say hello method. And when you invoke this say hello world method, is it? Then those anonymous class objects will be created. Is it? It's because you invoke this method. Okay. So this is the idea about anonymous class, okay? Pretty straightforward. And someone still haven't sent your answer to the chat, okay? The quiz question to the chat. Because we totally have 15, but we only have 9 messages. So please send your answer to the chat. Okay, then what the next one is, then let's see. The next one, what we try to do is explain the lambda expression. Okay, hold on. Then it will be easy for us to understand this concept. Anonymous class. Okay, hold on. Okay, so over here, no, I cannot do that. And hopefully you can see clearly, okay? And let me start sharing screen. Okay, so the next part. So over here, we understand the concept. We already learned the concept of inner class. We also learned anonymous class. And what next one, because that will help us understand, we will learn lambda expression. Quite useful, okay? In professional world, you will see this a lot, okay? And if you recall previously in our GUI examples, is that we have button. And each time when you click the button, it can do something. And at that time, you remember we just see something like this button data set on collision, and then then do something, something like that. That's called lambda expression. How that happens? So for any of the button, it has a method called set on action. Okay, set on action. And this method, and over here, the concept is called event programming. Event programming. Okay, so your program is not a flow statement by statement. Okay, because over here, if you have the button, and the button will fire on some event, on which event? Over here is a click event, So it also has the event listener. So button click has event listener, okay? The event listen, once the event happens, then it will handle event. So we call it event handling. Okay, it will handle the event, okay? So basically the set on action, what it can take, the parameter. This specific method, the parameter type is what? The parameter type is this, event handler. An event handler is some interface, okay? So this is an interface. If you read the Java official document, you will find it's an interface, okay? And this interface is a generic interface, so it can take some event. And over here, this event is called the action event for the button click, okay? So it's an action event. So basically over here is the type is that. So you need to, because for parameter, it needed to take some is a primitive value. So argument, a method's argument, either some primitive value, or some reference object? So you need to have some objects be created here. So overall, generally speaking, whenever you call this set on event, then you should create some class. You should have some class. That class going to implement this event handler interface. Okay, and then you use that class to create an instance, and then you pass into it. Okay, so this setOnAction method will take that event handler's objects. Okay, the object's type is event handler. And for this event handler, this event handler interface, it's very special. Okay, this is, and you remember previously we said the hello world interface. Is it? It has two abstract methods. Is it? And over here for this event handler interface, it has only one abstract method. And the method called handle. Okay, so it's the handle. And the handle, what the parameter it takes is that action event. Is the event handler's type, is that action event type. Okay, so this interface is very special. It has only one single abstract method. Okay, so this kind of interface in Java, we have a special name for it. We call it a functional interface. So what's the definition for functional interface? As some interface with only a single abstract method. Okay, single abstract method. So we also refer it as SAM. So this interface is also called SAM interface. SAM represents single abstract method. Okay, single abstract method. Okay, so that's functional interface definition. So anyway, event handler, okay, in Java FX, it's a functional interface. Okay, and in this method, what we did here is we create a class called enlarge handler, is it? And this class implements this event handler method, and then it implements this handle method. What it does is enlarge that pane, is it? Okay, and it create an instance of this class, is it? And it pass into this method as argument. Okay, that's what this method does. And basically over here, then if I rewrite this, okay, I can completely doing something like this. I can completely cross out all of this. I just leave that E there, okay? I cross out all of this. And then what I do, I will rewrite as E, then an arrow. Okay, I can do something like this. Is it? That's what we saw in our previous example. Is it? So what is this? You just cross out of this. Is it? Basically, you just call whatever. You just provide that single method body. Is it? You just do that. And of course, you also provide the argument. Is it? For that single method's argument. Is it? And this type of coding, we call it lambda expression. Lambda expression. Okay, and why you can do this? Because then implicitly the compiler knows. So what the program will do, the compiler will do it, it will still create a class, is it? And then initiate an instance of that class, and then call this method, invoke that. That's what it did internally. But you just cross out because that's common to all of this functional interface. The functional interface only has this single method, is it? And if you create a class which implements this kind of functional interface, then by default, you're going to implement that single method, is it? So that's why we can just erase off this, just leave the body part. Okay, so then your code will look very concise, is it? So this is a concept of lambda expression, but there is a condition you can use as SAM. Okay, so the interface must be single abstract method interface, must be a functional interface, okay? So basically, it's kind of the transition, like you first cross out this. You can use a anonymous class, is it? You can just call new event handler. Basically, that's the anonymous class, is it? That's one way we can implement this method. But even this, that's too much of repeating code. That's unnecessary, is it? That's why you cross out all of this, and then you just use this single body, is it? Then the compiler know, okay, it will create an instance of some class. That class implement that event handler interface, and then it's going to invoke this method. That's the most part we care, is it? Then you just write this. Then you will see the code is very concise, just this single line, is it? But of course, if your handle method, if you have something else, then you can have multiple lines, is it? Then you can still use the curly brackets, okay, the body part, like the regular. But if you just have a single line, then you can just do this arrow, okay? So this is a concept about lambda expression, okay? So, okay, the second quiz question today is, what is a functional interface? Functional interface. You provide the definition to the quiz and you write the answer. What is a functional interface? An interface with a single abstract method. Okay, and here doesn't mean abstract method. Okay, you can have any number of class method or what other method interface allows, default method, okay? So here just regarding abstract method, okay? That's the definition of functional interface, okay? Remember this, very important concept. So please send your answer to the chat. Any questions? Does it make sense? Why I cannot, I can scroll down. Let me scroll down to see. Okay, looks like it's too large. Okay, lambda expression, as it I explained, is it? So the general coding, is it? So if you write the complete code, you need to do. So this is the case of what? This is the anonymous inner class case, is it? And you can even cross out of this, is it? And just write like this. Is it? You can also have curly brackets, okay, if you have multiple lines, okay. So this is the lambda expression, okay. This says the simplified event handling, is it? Using lambda expression. Let me get to the next slides to see. Okay, here it gave us lambda expression, okay. For lambda expression, it's not just allow single parameter. You can also have multiple parameter, okay. And generally, syntax for lambda expression, you also need to have type for parameter, etc. But in our case, you can also skip the type. Okay, skip the type. This is the data type for a parameter may be explicitly declared or implicitly inferred by the compiler. Okay, so it can be skipped. Okay, and if you just have single, so in our case, we see this a lot, is it? Then you don't need a parenthesis. If you have more than one, is it? If you have more than one parameter, then you need to have parentheses. Okay, following it, you have the arrow. Okay, you have the arrow. And then the regular method body, is it? Or you have curly brackets, is it? You have multiple statements. Okay, so this is called lambda expression. Okay, lambda expression. Okay, then the third quiz question is lambda expression. When can we use the lambda expression? So what kind of, so the question, okay, third quiz question is what kind of interface allow you to write lambda expression? Okay, can you send your answer to the chat? So what kind of interface allows us to write a lambda expression? Is it any kind of interface? What we did discussed? Anyone knows the answer? What kind of special interface? Is any kind of
interface?
Pardon me?
Functional interface?
Yeah, very good. Functional interface. Another name for functional interface is called what? It's what? Someone's name looks like. What's that? What's that called? The other name for that is for functional interface is what? As what? Someone's name. It's what? SAM. Is that S represent what? The complete name for this is what? What does SAM mean?
Single abstract method.
Yeah, very good. Single abstract method. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so functional interface is some interface that only allows single abstract method. Okay, so keep this in mind also. Okay, so that's a lambda expression. We kind of understand the single SAM is that we already discussed and a functional interface. Okay, so that's this part. And then let's go back to take a quick look at our previous example. Now then you understand that example, okay. The first example we discussed You remember the first example is we have a grade pane, is it? Then we have username, password, and a button. So if you click the button, something will be output, is it? Okay, so the button click at that time is that we just saw it, is it? So it's called the button set on action, is it? So here, did you see it right as this formatting, is it? So this is lambda expression, is it? And over here just have that single parameter as an event handler, is it? But what it does two things, is it? It set the output color to some some red color, is it? And also the text is sign button pressed, is it? So this is to use lambda expression, is it? To do event handling, is it? Here it provides another version. You can also write using what? What is this? So who still remember we just discussed this? What is this called? What is this? What is it? We learned new event handler, angle bracket, action event, parentheses, then curly brackets. What do we call it?
Sam.
No, this is not Sam. What is this? We just learned it today. Because whenever you do new, that means what? New can only be related with what? Generally speaking. Normally after new, what should you put? Normally after new following what? In Java, it's what? It's a constructor, is it? They should follow a constructor. So what is this constructor? Where did we define this constructor? We never define constructor. What is event handler? This event handler is what? I just explained, you remember? Event
Anonymous
handler.
class.
No, it's not a class. It's what? It's
a functional interface.
Yeah, it's a functional interface. Okay, very good. So this is a functional interface. Can I do new interface? Generally speaking, can you do new some interface?
No.
No, but why here you do new interface? And just like I said, whenever you have a method, is it has a parameter. And when you invoke the method, when you call the method, you pass in what? Argument. What can be argument? Generally speaking, it takes what? Primitive value. Or what? Some reference object. Is it? So you need to pass in some object for set on action. Is this set on is a method? You need to pass in some objects. What this object is? In this case, definitely it's not primitive. It's not 1, 2, is it? It's not ABC. It's not true, false. It's some objects. The object created on what? On heap. And how this object is created. Whenever you want to create an object, you need to do what? You need to have a class, is it? To create a concrete class to create an object. Where the class is. What is this? What is this? We just learned it today.
So is that the anonymous class?
Yeah, very good. Okay. This is anonymous class. Okay. we at the beginning of this class learned is it this is the anonymous class type of implementation. So you can also implement using anonymous class. Is it? Then in this case, you need to, that functional interface, then you need to override and write the name handle. Is it of the, and all of this are just repeat. Is it repetitive code? And if you want to make your code very concise, then lambda expression, you see, is it cross out of those repetitive code. Okay, so that's the beauty of lambda expression. Is it very concise because of those just repetitive, the compiler anyway knows, is it? But conceptually, you should understand where does it come from, is it? Because just remember, okay, this concept, the call method, you need to pass argument. Argument needed to be something, is it? Either some primitive value, is it, or some reference objects, is it? So you need to pass in something. You cannot just give an interface, is it? That's not right, is it? So, but why over here you do this? It's because this lambda expression basically comes from the anonymous class. Anonymous class basically come from what? Of a regular defined class. We just try to, don't give the name because everybody knows. Anyway, I just use this one time. Is it? I won't repeatedly use it in my code. So why I bother to write the complete code? Is it? That's the point, okay? So this kind of lambda expression used a lot in event handling, okay, and also anonymous class. If you do Android application development, you will see this a lot, okay. Okay, that's the major information for today. And we basically cover all the material today. Any questions? Everything is clear? No more questions?
I'll probably have plenty of questions after I try to do the lab tonight.
Okay. Then let's discuss it tomorrow. Okay. Okay, if you don't have questions, then see you tomorrow. Bye.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.